Hey, well, welcome to an Insight Line with the ARC Path. Today, we're diving deep into mindset. We've gathered at a round table in order for us to have a discussion. When we gather for this discussion, it's not to solve, it's not to teach, it's simply to experience, it's to recognize that we're all on a journey together. And when we walk along the ARC Path, we are choosing to walk along a path that says there's a lifestyle path of better choices. And the better choice of mindset begins with acknowledging that you have a mindset. Simply acknowledging that your mind is set on something and the way you understand and interpret all things has to do with your awareness of the mindset. As we move along an arc path, we're going to heal, we're going to restore, and we are going to find our unique kingdom expression and recognize that we are truly our best version of ourselves when we're showing up for ourselves, not for other people. And your mindset is a key indicator of how you are experiencing the world and how the world is going to engage with you. So today I've asked a couple of my friends who've been along the ARC path with me. They've seen it, they've lived it, they've been through the trainings. And today we're just going to talk about mindset and 3 character commitments that really lay a foundation for that. Graceful obedience, resilient love, and understanding how these things come together in a way that it just builds into inspiring hope. But overall, we're just going to talk about life today. So let me introduce you to a couple friends. They've been on the show before. Adam Larkhart, Marina Macias, how are you?
I'm
Good.
great.
You guys are good today?
I'm good.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I'm here with friends. It's a great day.
It's a great
It's
day.
a good day to have a conversation around.
So we'll be honest, and we want any listener to know that Adam's like going, really? I have to talk about my mindset today. My mind is a little bit fried. No,
it's okay.
It's good.
It goes through moments.
You reset it.
I continuously reset my mind,
which is a great place to engage on mindset.
I'm so glad I learned how to do that.
That you've learned how to do that. You've walked the journey. So my opening question about mindset is, what is your mindset on? Just in general, like
That's such a good question. My mind is set on resetting.
Your mind is set on resetting.
On
And when you do that, Adam, what does that mean? What does it mean to reset?
No, I think it's life. In today, we always go through different, through work, you go through different meetings, different engagements, and it's a bit of a juggle.
Mm-hmm.
Life is a juggle.
Yeah, constant.
It's constant, and it's always moving. So I think some days are slower than others. Some days are faster than others.
Yeah.
That's where my mindset is.
And just to invite a listener who may not know, ARC doesn't replace the juggle. ARC doesn't.
It helps you manage.
It manages, and it even, I prefer the word, it leads you through the juggle or the struggle. Rather than trying to manage it or control it. It helps you to navigate it so that you become the leader rather than having it lead you.
Yeah.
Those are good thoughts. I like those. Great idea, Adam. Genius.
Well, I don't know if it's genius, but I have to say, like, even today, we've done a lot. We've done team building workshop earlier today.
Yep.
And so it's ARC is an invitation and something that you can live into to continuously look at that mindset on where am I at right now.
Beautiful mindset. What about you, Marina? What is your mindset on?
I would say my mindset is set on hope, being able to not just perceive the present circumstances, but see life through the lens of possibilities and opportunities, and that comes with the A of acknowledgement. I don't think we can get anywhere trying to fake it till you make it, whether that's not expressing how maybe frustrated or tired you are, or being able to say, oh wow, I'm having a really good day, and not having to negate that based on if other people are having a bad day or other people are having a good day. But just being reminded that even where we're maybe in the trenches or avoiding the trenches, that we don't need to stay there. Again, there's a pathway forward.
There is a path. Wonderful. And both of your answers are help complete the picture of mindset. We do set our mind on something, and that is a mindset, but that's really an external mindset. I am set on this experience. I am set knowing that I can do this or I can overcome. If you say you can't, you can't. If you say you can, you can. And if you think something's impossible, it is. But then when you recognize that I am possible, anything can happen. Those are mindsets externally. There's also more of an internal filter. So mindset isn't just about what you are going after. Mindset is how, and Marina, you were touching on this. It's a way you interpret everything. So when something happens in your life, how do you interpret it?
Mm.
How do you understand the purpose behind it? Does it have meaning? Does it draw these things together? So this is mindset. And as we kind of unpack those things, there's a bit of a, how have you seen your mindset shift? Okay, so not what is your mindset on, but how have you seen your mindset shift? So something bad happens. What's your first thought? You get a phone call.
What's your first
What's
thought?
your first thought? Somebody says, I need to talk to you now. What's your first thought?
I really hope he goes to you first, Marina.
Marina, why don't you read this question? How have you seen your mindset shift on the journey of ARC?
I've seen it shift because I'm thinking and I'm aware more of not just how I'm reacting, but how I'm responding. Even
Okay.
this morning, a month ago, I had communicated with an individual about getting some paperwork done and communicating through like other third parties. And then I come to find a month later, oh, that wasn't communicated. So then there's frustration within me. And then there's frustration because other people are making assumptions about myself, where it's like, okay, how am I going to handle the situation? Even connecting with that individual I connected with a month ago. So just being able to be like, okay, you know what? I forgive them. I'm not going to call them being bitter or resentful. Just going through that process of getting it done, and not, like being able to already anticipate my response before I engage in any other interactions, whether that third party or whether that person I connected with. And so this morning I had a really big mindset shift of how do I want to respond in this situation, rather than letting the situation and all the reactions of everyone via email control me.
Definitely.
And so I just definitely am taking more ownership of not just what I think, because emotions, if we're led by them, can lead us to say things and do things. But if we're led more by that wisdom, reason, and understanding through our emotions, we get to understand more of ourselves and express ourselves in a manner in which respects and shows grace onto ourselves and other people.
Most of us are going to need to rewatch that
I
and
know.
listen to all
I'm
the things you
listening
just
going,
dropped right there.
Wow,
It was
you
good.
fully understand.
And Adam, guess what? I have good news, Adam. We're not going to go to you yet. You just keep processing that.
I got to reflect. I got to
reflect on that.
process. I've got to acknowledge where I may have been earlier.
So we're going to stay with that theme that you just talked about, this encounter you had this morning. As we look at mindset, we recognize that there's 3 character commitments that are really laying the foundation for the mindset to take us above the line. And you guys have heard this term on the ARC path. We recognize that life above the line is better. Life below the line is not a problem unless you don't know you're there. So if I'm using this term below the line and you're going, huh? I don't know what below the line is, above the line is. Come join us on the ARC path. Do a course on the Circles Now app. We will connect you to an understanding and we'll walk with you. But Marina, back to you. You're demonstrating an above the line mindset. It's not just that there's a silver lining to something that happened that wasn't good. It's that you're recognizing that the challenge is actually for you. It's a benefit to you to learn and to grow. The character commitment I'm going to highlight here is resilient love. So resiliency. You said there's a shift. Talk to me about it through the lens of resilient love. What is the shift that is really anchored in this character commitment of resilient love?
Resilient love, I think, puts the lens on not just the present moment, but the future reality and the ownership of who you are as an individual. Because if we're living just again through emotion, we're not able to really portray that love or portray that grace. But when we remind ourselves, what kind of person am I, and do I want to be consistent? Do I want to keep showing up that way? And where I feel resiliency is when there's things that come at you, where there's challenges, it's more of a confirmation. What are you going to decide in this situation? It's not through the ease and the breeze of life that allows us to really stand true to who we are. It's in those moments of challenges that we're given a choice. Am I going to show this love? Am I going to show this resilience through the obstacles? Because there's no resilience without resistance in place. So.
And so there is no, I like that. That was a good one. I'm going to steal it and take it. There is no resilience without resistance. Now, I believe that resistance and resentment and rebellion take us below the line.
Ooh, I had another encounter about that this morning.
Let's say more.
Well, my little brother, he is 8 years old. He asked, well, he's doing this fundraiser for school. Elementary schools have their fundraisers and whatnot. And he didn't really ask anyone for money. And he's just like, can I have $50? Or more in the sense of like, oh, the money's due tomorrow. And then my dad's like, no, it's due today, like in an hour. And
we just had that here with the office too.
And so within me, he's like, oh, I want to raise this money just so I can go to a PJ party with his friends, because it's his friends. I'm like, I can just do that for you for $5. And I really had to think more of even the past version of myself, where I know I didn't have those people who, when I did ask and over a numerous amount of occasions, say no.
Get your sponsorships, raise your money.
And in this point, I was able to stand in that resilience love and not hold on to resentment from other people when they said no to me, or teach my little brother a lesson like, you need to learn how to actually ask and step out of your comfort zone, but be able to generously give, but out of a love that I had for him, to show that maybe I didn't care as much of him going to PJ party, but cared for him to see how much that I can come and just show him what I didn't have.
So you demonstrated some resilient love, but you also recognize that your brother might not have had the right mindset.
Yeah. No, he did not.
He did not. And Adam, I'm coming to you and prepping you. We're going to change the dial here. We're going to look at graceful obedience. Okay. The resilient love is really about understanding the mindset of the mind. And resilient love is this choice that Marina's been describing, like, hey, I'm able to bounce back. I'm able to show up present. I'm able to engage. I'm not going to get pulled below the line because somebody else made a stupid choice. That's my interpretation. I wasn't talking about her brother. Just life. Life can be hard. And being able to bounce back up and engage is really up here. But there's something about, using the analogy that Marina gave us, is going out and doing the work. Get engaged. Sign up early. Get active. And that's graceful obedience. So Adam, graceful obedience. It's about action. It's about recognizing that there's an order and there's an authority to how to get things done. In your workplace environment, there's
being recorded. I'm sure.
It's being recorded.
Yeah, I gotta reflect on that.
There is a call for order.
Yeah.
There is a call for recognizing authority
and responsibility.
Talk to me about how your mindset is strengthened by your understanding of graceful obedience.
I think it goes back to some core values, but it's what you were saying earlier, how do you want to show up? How do you want to present yourself? How do you want to come to work? How do you want to plan out your day? So there is a commitment there that I look for in the workplace on taking that ownership, coming in and being responsible and being here, wanting to be here. So
Adam, you in the office setting, you hold everything together. Do you know that?
Kind of like what's that word somebody used once? I community. I'll think about it.
You'll think about it. Yeah. You have an obedience to the community.
Yeah.
And you're
to keep everyone connected.
To keep everyone connected. Yeah. Adam's the type of person that if somebody's eating their lunch and no one else is eating their lunch with them, then Adam says, well, I could eat my lunch now.
I really just want a cookie, but yeah.
You want a cookie, but he'd come eat the lunch.
Bernard loves cookies.
What we recognize about graceful obedience is it moves into action for the good of others. And it's graceful in the sense that it's not forced. It's not demanded. It's not even expected. If those things are happening, there's rules and there's duty and there's this model of, oh, I have to. We're going to come above the line in graceful obedience and go, when I do this, it flows naturally out of me. And obedience is really a recognition of there's a reason to submit. And so we're in the lens of mindset. And I'm bringing to you these two concepts: resilient love, which is really about how you're thinking, and it's graceful obedience, which is what you're doing. You guys seeing how these are coming together?
They're very connected, very interlaid.
They are. What do you guys want to add anything to it? Or and sometimes you don't think about this at this level.
Well, I want to share with the community. This is something that we've talked about for years. It's something that might be new. This language is new to a lot of people. They don't think about it. It's not something that you may have heard. Resilient love, graceful obedience. It's something that you're not always going to get right. You're going to have moments where you don't do it right, but you're going to reflect back on it and know, hey, I could have shown up a bit differently there. And I think that's what ARC teaches us is
Mm-hmm.
there is acknowledgement and healing, and so very good stuff.
It is good
But
stuff.
just for our audience watching today, it's I've been friends with you for years, so I've seen Marina has how she's come in the last couple of years, and now it's a habit forming conversation that we can have.
So I'm going to go back to the original question that Marina took and ran with. How has your mindset shifted, Adam? Are you ready for that? How have you experienced yourself differently? That's really what mindset, because mindset isn't
it's
just
more
your
of
thinking.
It's more of it's your thinking, but what's the word I want to use? I'm going to throw that back to you in a minute, but it's just a greater understanding of people,
love
of
that.
individuals, of
everything.
habits, of everything.
Yeah.
Of the moments when you know that you went below the line, and that happens sometimes, when you can pull yourself back above the line, when you're, I like the conversation about mindset.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm glad
but there's a lot of people, especially today, where mental health and stuff, your mindset, you don't talk about it. It's
Correct.
not like a natural habit to go
No.
talk to somebody going, "Hey, I want to know how's your day going." That's not.
Well, how's your day going is and a choice of a mindset that says it matters.
Yeah.
And you acknowledge that people matter.
Yeah.
And as you're acknowledging that people matter and you go in with graceful obedience, you don't need an answer.
No.
And yet, as you don't need an answer, it takes a resilient love, because a lot of times you don't get the answer.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever waved?
Or you don't get the answer that you want.
Even different. So there's a third component to mindset of character commitments. We've talked about graceful obedience. We've talked about resilient love. Let's talk a little bit about inspiring hope. These are such loaded words, and there's tension in all of these words. There's
inspiring hope.
There's the sense of, okay, what am I supposed to be doing if I'm inspiring hope? Inspiration is to fill with joy, fill with spirit, fill with energy is inspiration. Hope is not wishful thinking, but it's confident expectation. So if I'm inspiring hope, I'm filling somebody else with a confident expectation that above the line is possible. That AHRK
Let me
makes
show
a
you
difference.
how I can do it.
Yeah. How do you do it?
How do you do it?
I'm gonna pass that to Marina.
That to Marina.
I like that. I'm looking at Marina going, how do you do it, Marina?
Well, I think even just today, when you just so mentioned about a recession coming to hit, might be the worst that we've ever seen before. And if I'm thinking about my former mindset of when I was younger, and that would probably be a couple years ago, I'm only 22. So at the age, I think, of 11, where I developed more of a negativity and pessimism about life. Even my little sister, when we were reflecting on someone's coworker who was super negative, my little sister was like, "That's how you used to be." And I'm like, well, I'm glad I'm not that person.
It was
anymore.
a used to, past tense.
Yeah, it was a used to. So it was a celebration of who I am now, not taking back to who I was before.
Wow.
And so when you guys were just kind of discussing about people just being able to say, okay, this is where everything's going. I was not able just to see like, oh, we should be a little bit more concerned about what's happening now, but know that from, just history, there's cycles and everything. So at some point we're going to get out of it. So my immediate thing was like, okay, that's going to suck. But I know even my family went through a really, really hard time in 2008 and through 2010. So I know that even where I'm at right now is better than what had happened to my family and I. So then where that hope is, it's like, okay, it's impeding, it's coming, but I can see past that, because there's an expectation for myself and for the future that isn't going to succumb to the economy of life, because life isn't just about money and economy.
You want to build on that?
Economy of life. I don't know if I can build on
Yeah,
it.
I don't know if you need to.
You don't need to. Like,
No.
she understands, Marina, you understand inspiring hope. You're not
Thank you.
looking at today, you're looking at where we're going to be at, you're looking at the past, and you're reflecting on that in a very positive mindset.
And what I'll draw out for anybody who's listening to this, recognizing, okay, how did Marina have that wisdom or that experience or that knowledge? It came from experience. It came from life. Where graceful obedience is about action in the body, and you got to go out and do something. Where this understanding of resilient love, it really is. It lives in your mind, and your recognizing of taking a thought captive and not getting beat down or reacting to triggers. The understanding of inspiring hope, it lives in your heart, and in the heart there's an engagement here of identity. And so, Marina, thank you for allowing us to kind of see through the lens of 2008, 9, and 10, where you recognized I've been without.
Yeah.
My family has struggled. This has been hard, which then builds a sense of compassion. And that's really what I would give you with mindset. If mindset is work, it's not mindset. It's something else.
Wishful thinking.
It's your oh, I've got to work harder to say the right things, do the right
Yeah.
things. It's performance. It's perfection. It's this element of I'm living into what I call shoulds of somebody else's values and not my own. So just to make that more tangible, think of somebody that in a sports world, professional world, any world, take it to a professional and go that you've seen them do what they do and they do it effortlessly. It's almost like you would say, gosh, they're just gifted. They're talented. It's natural in them.
I'm not going to use one individual, but we used to train on that. It's soccer players, football players. They form a habit.
Oh, come on, Ronaldo or Messi?
Yeah, but
I don't really watch sports.
Oh, you
But
guys.
no,
All
but
right.
what I'm trying to say
we'll
is
let it go somewhere else.
They don't do it overnight. Like
No.
they practice. They work hard. They put in the time. They want it. They set their goals and they go to achieve them. If they don't set goals, they're not going to achieve it. They might become a professional player, but they might not hit that pinnacle that they want to be at, or not want, but what they can achieve.
And what I'm highlighting here is those professional athletes. When you watch them perform, we say perform because we are in the audience.
Yeah.
We're spectators. But
they're not performing.
But they're not performing. They're just living out their best
their
life.
Passion.
Their passion is flowing. There's alignment. And that's what we're really looking for in our mindset. It's not just between your ears up here and what you think. It is in your body. It is in your mind. It is in your heart. And your mind is not your brain. We can go down that path. Your mind is so much bigger than what's, in that mass between in your head. It's this element of going, I'm aligned, and those individuals are aligned. Marina, talk to me about a singer. Give me a somebody who sings who when they sing, you're captivated.
I don't. It's interesting because I mainly listen to like worship music or Bethel, but there's not one distinct individual that I'm so like, wow, like I listen to this person all the time, other than Stephanie Gretzinger, but she's not an amazing singer. She just has a lot more conviction and passion when she sings.
So I'm going to pause you. My question is, pick one, and you go, I don't really have one.
Yeah.
Right? And here's the irony of your answer is it doesn't surprise me.
I was gonna.
Because when we all watch you sing, we all treat you like you're the celebrity. You might not know that, but we go, oh, wow, Marina has such confidence. Marina just breaks into song. Marina loves to sing. When Marina sings, it comes out of her so naturally. So you don't have somebody out in front of you that going, if I could only sing like them. Is that true?
Yeah, I don't. I like the things that I watch on YouTube are either like podcasts or things like that, or just the voice. Like, oh, who sings really good? Like, I don't really know the songs. I don't really know the people singing, but it's their voices that I'm captivated by because it just sounds so pretty. It's just whoever it is. I don't care. It's good. It's good at times, unless obviously like words aren't really the most honorable or whatever.
Yep.
But I would say that where there's just that essence of like peace where someone is doing something that they want to do and they're aligned with their convictions, their thoughts, and their action and the authority within themselves. When you were talking about like the athletes and talking about how they're not performing,
right.
A lot of times we can get stuck in that performance for other people, and people can live their whole entire life just performing through this expectation and never be at peace with themselves because they're not establishing in their mind, I don't really like being a doctor. I don't like, this study. I don't like this job. And so then it's like, okay, everyone else says this is great. Everyone else says that this is what I should want, the American dream. But it doesn't settle right with who they were made to be, their own power and authority and their expression of themselves. And so that's where it's like, okay, you could, the economy of life, money or whatever, that doesn't mean peace. But there's a lot more peace when our mindset is affirmed with our actions, our obedience, and our authority within ourselves, and expression of that power into the world individually. So
all that to say, my observation for you, Marina, is that when you are singing, you have alignment in resilient love, graceful obedience, and inspiring hope.
Thank you.
And it just flows. And that's a mindset. We often try to think of mindset as something that we're just going to set our minds on, but there's an interpretation that the entire world can filter through you, and you're okay with it when you're singing. And the entire world gets to be an experience of what you're doing with your voice. Adam, I'm gonna highlight something for you too.
I'm laughing though. Just before
Go ahead.
you highlight, if I sang, I would not inspire.
No,
anyone.
not at all.
And that's okay.
That is so
That's
okay, because
so
I'm not going to
okay.
sing either. Adam, when I first met you, said we've known each other for a long time. Describe the work environment you were in when we first met. We met via Zoom.
Yeah, it was very different. I mean, the work environment today is.
Don't go today.
Go in the
Where were
past.
you 8 years ago?
I gotta think back to dates, but I was actually working a lot more within a community virtually, but on my own. But with it was very different. A lot of people internationally that I was working with, so I had a lot of people that I was surrounded with. I saw a lot of people on weekends and through work and through travel, but it was not the same community.
And so
For sure.
I didn't set you up for this. I just was asking you to describe, and I'm going to highlight a couple things. You were on your own.
Yeah.
You at different seasons through the year, there would be people that would be, you were working out of Florida.
Yeah.
No one else was living there full time but you.
Yeah.
You were in an office by yourself.
Yeah.
You were connected virtually. And Marina's going to sing. You would have the opportunity for weekend exchanges with lots of people, but it was one and done and gone.
Yeah.
So when we first met, your engagement of community was lacking.
Yeah.
And your experience of managing wasn't fostering the sense of fun.
No, it was very different because I was fostering it myself in my own office when I had guests coming in and stuff. But it was interesting to reflect back on
I'm enjoying you processing.
I know, but I come from a small community where I was always surrounded by community.
Yes.
I was always surrounded by, we never locked our doors growing up. We always had family over. We always had a big community. And then when I moved to the US, when I was living in Florida, it shrunk a little bit. I had my social network. I had my professional network.
And even those were disjointed.
They were disjointed, but
wrong, not right.
Not wrong, but different.
So I'm gonna pull us together, running out of time, but because I'm walking, you didn't answer how has your mindset shifted, and I'm helping you answer it. You understand your strengths, and your desires so much more clear today than maybe you did before.
Yeah, and they've shifted without realizing that they've shifted because now I'm able to connect the communities better.
Yes.
Being in, I see where you took that.
You see where I'm going.
We're gonna go back and watch that.
We're gonna watch this again. Here's what I'm giving you today. Your mindset is a gift. Have you opened the gift? Have you understood that it is something that is beautiful and bountiful and endless, and it's an opportunity for you to get engaged with it and build it? So when you open it up and you go, wow, what is this? And then you expand it through the character commitments of graceful obedience, where you go act, go do, go engage, but submit to authority and order in order to recognize that, can I do diligence for a purpose and make a difference and do it without feeling the have-tos, but really moving with this sense of, I get to do this and I want to do this. And then you move into this understanding of resilient love, and your mind is so powerful. And we can choose to get frustrated, but that's often because we're living in judgment or resentment or these senses of, I'm going to tell you what you did wrong, or I'm going to tell myself how screwed up I am. There's no resilient love there. And then we move into the sense of inspiring hope. We activate the heart. We engage the hope of the future, and we recognize, oh my gosh, it's happening now. Today you heard from Marina and Adam, and they just simply gave you their life, how it lives out in them. And the question we give you on the AHRK path is, are you ready for it to live out in you? If so, walk the AHRK path with us. Move through the A of acknowledgement. Where are you at today? Where do you want to be tomorrow? Heal. What's holding you back from the desires of your heart? Move into restoration. Choose to grow, learn, build. Listen to a podcast. You can listen to our podcast with Bernard and I on Resilient Love. Go to your listening channel and type in ARC, and you'll see Resilient Love. The podcast is there. Jump into a team building episode. It's every Tuesdays and Thursdays right now at 12 Pacific Standard Time. You can join us. Team building is fun. It's an engagement. It will expand your mindset about why and what you do with others. And then you will find your kingdom expression. It's waiting for you. It's already inside of you. Sometimes we just have to find the keys to unlock the kingdom door. Hey, thanks for joining us today on the Insight Line of the Mindset Understanding. Marina, Adam, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here again soon.